transmorphing the food. That's what it's called in high-end cuisine. It's called transmorphing. I'm a big fan of stuff, and I combine it with raw. And like I was saying, the third part requires hardware that I use. I don't have an example with me right now, but it's just a little whipper that you buy, and you just inflate it with N2O, which is nitrous oxide. I also use I don't know. I'll put this on camera. I do use liquid nitrogen in my cuisine as well. I make this awesome vegan sphere. It's actually a cheesecake. It's just a vegan cheesecake, a normal one. What I do is I get a balloon and I inflate it with N2O, and I fill it up. I inject it with some carrot cheesecake puree that I make. That's all vegan and raw. And I swirl it around and I bathe it in the liquid nitrogen. And what happens is, as you're bathing in the liquid nitrogen, it instantly freezes. That's what you gotta know, is that liquid nitrogen freezes like that. The boiling point is like 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why whenever you expose it to air, it's like it's all steam, because it's all getting evaporated. And then what I do is I just take it out and I just peel off the layers of the balloon, and we have a beautiful, like, magnificent, perfect sphere of carrot cheesecake. Something you'll never see. You'll never see at these raw places, because everyone is evolving. Okay, everyone's evolving, and I'm just evolving more than the normal person, I think. To be honest with you, I haven't seen much innovation except for this guy right here. He's a cool guy, and that's why we're gonna have chef off. So I'm not giving away my secrets, but I will give you away one of my favorite secrets that I use. I actually made the first ever that I'm aware of. I made a goji caviar. I actually took the goji berry, the actual goji berry. Yeah, and I actually made it into a goji looking at itself, but in a sphere, a perfect sphere. So what you have is a jelly goji, and on the inside you have the powerful liquid of the goji. And I put that next to the real goji, and I make them talk to themselves, like communicate. I want them to feel each other, And it's funny because I've done blind taste tests, and people really love the explosive goji sphere more than the dry, usual goji that you get. But you can also soak gojis and all that stuff. But that's really easy to make. I mean, all you need to do is just combine the good, wholesome raw food with the molecular powders, and then you need the equipment. I just used a syringe. I used like a 30cc syringe to a bunch of drops. I did like 100 drops, and I got a bunch of perfect spheres. Scooped it up, put it to the side, and it's all about presentation. And that was beautiful. That was like one of my main accomplishments that I've done thus far. Really easy to make. I mean, honestly, if you really want to know where to get all this stuff, just go to my site, rawnakedfood.com. You'll have sodium alginate, every powder you can think of, plus raw food. This is the evolution of raw cuisine, by the way. I'm not just talking to you, some guy that's like off in a cloud somewhere. I'm a chef. This is what I do. And question.
No, I mean, I just want to add to that, because bounce off it, because when it comes down to it, like, for me, and what I've professed that I do, is that I'm not making food for raw foodists. I'm making raw food for the masses. And for someone who's doing this, like, we're taking it to people who have to actually enter through it, or to it, through their taste buds. Raw foodists, we can like eat dandelion greens, but I mean, I know I can just eat very simple. And I know that we all, once we are turned on to it, then we listen to raw educators, and we read books, and we start experimenting and feeling it for ourselves, finding our own path down this intuitive highway. But until then there's people like him and I and a few others that I know of that actually are like doing it for the masses, and I honor you for that, bro. Yeah, it's really awesome.
The goal here is, well, for me, it is to bring this type of cuisine out to the masses. And like I was saying earlier about the medicinal plants, there's always that issue of legal issues that I can't push beyond. That's why I haven't infused that cuisine that I do now with the sacred medicine and plants that I usually use in the ritual. Those rituals are sacred and should only be done, maybe 3 times or 4 times a year, especially the ayahuasca. I'm not a shaman to guide you through that, but I've been, with shamans, and they would tell you it's about 3 to 4 times a year, and you should be fine. It detoxes everything. And eventually, one day, I do want to combine that type of cuisine that I do with the medicinal plants, and I'm sure I'll find some sort of, magic there. I mean, you see it here in California, I mean, with the cannabis clubs. I'm not a big cannabis user, but I'm saying for medicinal purposes and spiritual purposes, it has been proven to be effective. So go to my website, rawnakedfood.com. I do have some CDs here available, and this one, I interview gurus all over the world that are raw and not raw. Like I interviewed Daniel Pinchbeck, and this interview that I have right now is actually with Mimi Kirk. She's a good friend of mine, a raw foodist. She was PETA's sexiest vegan in 2009. She's like 70.
Vegetarian over 50.
Yeah, exactly. And she's a sweetheart. And in this interview, she actually gives like the most amazing interview I've ever heard, I've ever experienced. And I've interviewed everyone. And with the interview, you actually get a free copy of my book. So it's only $10 if you're interested.
Nice.
My book is usually $19.99. If you go to my website, it's on sale right now for $14.99. But if you buy this today, you get this plus the. So I'm going to leave you with that. And if you have any questions about raw cuisine or where it's going in the future, and if you're interested, I mean, I don't know how many of you are professional chefs at all. But if any of you want to play around with ideas, come see me. I'll be here. And thanks again for having me. And I appreciate everything that you all are doing. Because without you, there is no me. There is no Chef Be Live. There's no one. You know. Yeah.
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be here or outside. I'll be around.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to be here watching the next Raw Food. She's Fox.
Yes, she is.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I think that a collaboration would probably be better than a chef on.
I like Chef On.
Chef on will be fun. I've always done for me.
In the forest.
But it won't be competition. It'll be love.
No energy allowed.
And wholeness will have to be included.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.